So, uh, I had I've been writing since I was 6 years old. Well, I wrote a cappella songs when I was 4. Yeah, my first song I wrote was in I was 4 years old, and I sang. It was springtime is here, springtime is here. There's grass and trees and bumblebees. Springtime is here. And my mom made plagiarism. Yeah, she said. You got that from preschool. And I said, no, I made it up. And I did. So, anyways, I started writing at age 6, and I had like 40 boxes of writings. I kept every note I'd ever passed or was passed to me in school, I had in a big, huge bag because we did it all through school. So I'm a very sentimental person, right? Keep everything that means something to me. And because I'm such a narc. Right? So, uh, 40 boxes of my writings got stolen. They had prophecies in them, they had words of knowledge, they had lyrics, they had short stories. It had it had and tons of poetry because I wrote poetry before I started writing songs. So I did, but they did leave a couple of really ugly books from high school or from, yeah, when I was younger. So I want to read you this. I want to tell you what, like, it's a miracle that I actually believe in Yeshua, okay? Or Yahuwah, or Jesus, whichever you want to call him, all right? He's the only one that's ever made sense to me, and the only time I've ever uh, done what he says, I am blessed. All right, so um, this is me and my friends. We used to get drunk off of no sleep before we discovered alcohol. Yeah, we would not sleep, and then we get all giddy and stuff, and we watch all these false prophets on TV. Yeah, they were not all of them, but the really obvious ones. They would sell ask for $50 for handkerchiefs, and they were anointed, and they did all these healings, and they were, telling people that if they, hey, if you have to pay your hydro bill, it doesn't matter, because if you sow into the ministry $100, give us your hydro bill money. Right? You'll get 100,000 back. It's the casino gospel. All right. Anyways, and so I wrote this when I was 14 years old. It's called The Evangelist. Okay, I'm just going to share with you some of these poems are so pretentious because I was younger, right? So some of them I'm trying to sound deep. Other ones I really did I wasn't trying to sound, I just am deep, or I was deep back then. Anyways, and this is called The Evangelist. God will be there to catch your fall if you open your wallet and give us a call, but I know damn well that you pocket it all. I shall give to the needy, but not to your show. You're a slick con artist. Your tactics are low. I really feel sorry for the ones who believe that they're giving in good, but you really deceive. Or the ones that trust in you and your dream. They don't have the money, yet give to your scheme. But it's you with the millions within your reach. So why don't you practice what you preach? And then we have, let's see, what else do we have here? This, it's just kind of, I get excited when I come across some of my old work because they stole 40 boxes of it. Prophecies are, they're probably walking around, In fact, I hear a lot of my words that God gave me and people saying them. Anyways, crowd. So this is how I felt at age 16. Okay, no, 15 or 16. Okay, I was just way too sensitive. People flailing through large crowds seem phony and contrived. Eyes meeting deadened stares, afraid to come alive. Greeting me with concrete smiles, inside their masks they weep. Avoiding all reality, awake inside they sleep. And when they speak, they long to sound they've got it all together. Behind their guarded verbal chat on politics and weather, they stay too close to the surface, afraid to dive deep down. Afraid They're scared to leave the shallow end, afraid that they might drown, pretending that they're living life, yet never know it's real. Their hands may touch, but not their souls, are too afraid to feel. That's pretty darn good. Okay. And then, here's one. Ben and Roy. I wrote this in, how old was I? I was probably about 16, 17. Yeah, I put this together in 93, but they're all my teenage poems. Okay, so they sit in, it's called Ben and Roy. Okay. They sit in their bunk, guns at their side, masking their fears under their pride. They've nothing to gain and so much to lose. Ben's last game of cards, his last swig of booze. Then Ben says to Roy, remember the days when we'd play in my yard and build barricades? We'd tackle each other and play with toy guns. Tonight I don't think those memories are fun. Promise me one thing, Ben says to Roy. If I don't make it, take care of my boy. Then Ben shuts his eyes. Roy stares at the moon and waits for the morning. It comes too soon. They stand in the field, mud on their boots. At the count of 3, they start to shoot. The last thing that goes through Ben's frantic mind is his beautiful wife and his son, only 9. A few years later, Roy curses the war and those who died with no reward. Ben's son at his side, Roy says not a word. His pain and cries remain unheard. He holds his hand and hides his tears. Silently he whispers, I wish you were here. He promised a country to fight and be brave, but now he stands at the foot of Ben's grave. So anyways, I'm not the copycat, all right? I've been doing this all my life. So that's morning poetry. I could read you some really pretentious stuff. That's a funny. I want to hear some funny stuff where I'm like, I'm so deep. Let's see if I can find some. Well, there's not a lot in this one, but I have read, I've come across books where I'm like, wow, Kristin, that was when I was way, way younger, learning how to write. I wrote one about heaven one time. Let's see where that one is. Sorry for the... Oh, here it is. What is heaven? And this is my idea of heaven before I ever became a believer. Okay. It's a feeling of joy, the absence of pain, the beauty of freshness after the rain. It's a midnight sky that surrounds a full moon, a cold glass of water on a hot afternoon. It's a cozy warm fire on a cold winter's day. It's the smell of wet grass in the month of May. It's a pale blue sky that enhances the sun, a sense of fulfillment knowing you've won. It's collecting your thoughts as you take a hot bath, the security you feel when you chose the right path. It's a sense of yourself within your soul, the power of wanting and reaching your goal. It's the basic pleasures and daily routines and inner contentment so serene. It's not just a place through death you will find, for heaven is also a state of mind. Which is true, it's a conscious state of mind. Anyways, it's Kristin Lee Hagen here for afternoon poetry at 2:11. It's the 17th, I believe. January 17th, 2026. Okay, Verdon, BC. They still don't know where I am. And this copycat, I never leave my place, okay? I never leave my place. She's walking around, and my clothes are going missing, you know? Wearing my clothes, doing whatever, who knows? Who cares anymore? I don't even care anymore. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a really good afternoon if I don't come back on and, sing some songs. I'm feeling kind of creative today.